In this video, I will tell you about a yogic technique called the half bath. When I first encountered it, I was very skeptical. I didn't believe that it could so simply change the state of your mind, calm your breath, and so on. But when I tested it, I was surprised to notice a very clear effect. Before, when I practiced meditation, the state I was in stopped me from just sitting calmly. I felt like I needed to move. I felt hot inside, and I wanted to express that. I couldn't just sit still. But then I noticed, if I were to go and take a shower or perform a half bath, I would feel calm, and I would enter a mild state which would help me meditate. The half bath is not only used before meditation, it helps concentration generally. It can be done before asanas, and is also recommended to be done before a meal, especially by those with a weak digestive system. It can also be done before sleep, and makes falling asleep easier. There are two more ways that a half bath can help. The first is when you have a tendency to overeat. When you know you are full, but still feel hungry, you can go and take a half bath. It will not only make you feel better, but it will help you balance your mind and make giving up this gluttony much easier. The other situation is when you come home tired after a day's work, and your mind is still full of thoughts about work. In order to get rid of these noisy thoughts, you can take a half bath. This should help to remove them from your mind. I have also noticed that it also helps when you are annoyed or very nervous about something. At these times, you can go and take a half bath or finish a bath with the half bath technique that I'm finally getting to, and your stress will, at the very least, be halved. Your irritation is washed away, and whatever worries you may have are also removed in the half bath. So, how do you do a half bath? You go to the shower and you switch on the cold water. The colder, the better. Then you start to wash your body in this cold water, one part at a time. First, start with your genitals, then your legs down to your feet, then your arms from elbows to wrists. Then fill your hands with water and hold some water in your mouth. And while doing so, start splashing water into your open eyes, at least 12 times. After you have splashed your eyes, start to water your neck and ears. Now, how does this work? When cold water touches a part of your body, the cooled blood moves deeper into the body, first to the digestive system, and then to the brain. So your brain gains more resources, let's call them. And your digestive system is in turn also more efficient. There is another property or another effect that helps us to calm down during meditation. This is called the diver's effect. When we take some water into our mouth and splash some more into our open eyes, a minimum of 12 times, which would be enough for the effect to appear, we trigger a reflex common to all warm-blooded animals. When the body finds itself in water, that is, it is submerged under cold water, when water gets into the eyes and when it gets into the mouth, your heartbeat decreases and your breathing becomes slower, so that you can survive underwater as long as possible. So when we do this, this reflex kicks in and our breathing automatically slows down. And breathing is very important to meditation. For example, if you run a kilometer and come home to meditate, you will notice that your breathing is very quick and your mind is racing. You aren't really able to concentrate at all. You will be thinking about everything. Your mind will be jumping between this and that and that. Your mind will, instead of having this consistent wave, you will have this sort of chopped up wave. But in order to concentrate deeply on some idea, you need to calm the mind and slow down your breathing. Now, how can you combine a half bath with a bath? Well, for example, when you get up in the morning and go to take a shower, then you should do the following. Turn on the cold water, then sit down on your haunches and pour the cold water down onto your navel. Next, pour some water down on the projection of the navel on the opposite side on your back. Then you pour some water down onto the top of your head so that the water flows down onto the spine. After that, your body will be prepared for a full cold water wash. This is a sort of tempering. Otherwise, if you start to immediately water yourself, then it will be very cold. But our method prepares the body, because in the stomach area we have the center that is responsible for the thermal regulation of the body. So when you pour some water onto the navel area, the body receives a signal. This is very cold water. We should be prepared for that. I have personally noticed that it works amazingly. You would think that it would be rather difficult to pour cold water on yourself, especially in winter. But if you do it in such a sequence, navel, back, crown of your head, and let it run down your spine, then it is quite easy to bear. So after the bath, just like during the half bath, you can draw the water into your mouth and then splash some into your eyes. As for me, splashing cold water into my eyes was very difficult at first because it felt so unnatural. Open eyes, cold water, it feels bad. But it is just a matter of habit. You do it 10, 15, 20 times and you get used to it. The discomfort disappears, and it will greatly benefit your meditations. I recommend making this an experiment. Do a half bath before every meditation, one in the morning and evening, at least for 1 week, and see for yourself whether this has an effect for you, whether you can feel one. Share your experiences. It will be very interesting for me and for others to hear about this. If you have any problems with your digestive system, then it will be very useful to apply this technique before eating. And if you have problems falling asleep, you can do it before going to bed. If you perform several techniques at once, say you do meditations, asanas, kaushiki, and then you go and eat afterwards, then performing one half bath before you start should be enough. So give this a try. I hope this technique will be very useful to you and will improve your meditations.